So what I have here is I have a well-used 42 watt commercial electric CFL. This is one of the first generation CFL bulbs. This has lasted me well. This is actually one of the few that actually have lasted their rated life. Look at the plastic on this thing. It's gotten so hot it's actually started to melt the plastic. This unit just quit the other day, and I think what we'll do is we'll take it apart and see why it quit. One thing I have noticed is that the bulb itself is very loose, so it may be that just the wires have come off the board, and it may still be serviceable. But let's see if we can crack open this ballast. I don't want to break this thing. I don't know if this one's going to open up. A lot of the new ones come apart very easy, but this is an older one, so I'm not really sure what to expect with this ballast, whether it's going to pop apart or what's going to happen here, or whether the plastic is just going to shatter in my hand. But it does appear that it's not just press fit together like some of them. What is interesting is this plastic around the lamp is just coming apart. It's crumbling. It's gotten so brittle from heat, and these lamps do get warm, that's for sure. And I think probably what's happened on this lamp is that it may have even just broken its connection. Because I'll tell you why, when I was unscrewing it, the light flashed. So it may be that just the wires have come unsoldered from the board inside the this plastic is just crumbling away. It's gotten brittle from years, and probably from all the UV light, the heat and the UV light that's generated when this lamp is working. This plastic is just crumbling. Check that out. Looks like there's another. Looks like there's an inner heat shield underneath here, between here and the circuit board. And I'm just curious as to maybe it's just the wires have come undone. I doubt it'll be on the lamp side of things here. It's probably where it connects onto the board. And I'll show you why I think this might be all the problem with this. I'll screw the light into my light fixture here, and see, I wiggle it, it comes on. So the lamp itself is not bad. I think we just have a connection problem. We're not either getting power to the ballast, or the lamp itself has come loose just from the lamp getting loose. That actually came apart. Well, it came apart in pieces. The whole base of it just all crumbled. The plastic was so brittle that I mean, look at this, right? Just from heat and UV light over the last. This lamp has been in service for. It's in my garage. It's been in service since 2003. So this is 13 years old. This lamp. But it didn't fail because the lamp itself burned out. It failed because, look at this connection down here. I'm pretty sure that that's probably why the lamp's been flickering and going off and on. So maybe this one here too. See, there's a couple connections here that look like they're suspect. So I think what I will do is I'm going to resolder those connections. We'll put some heat shrink tubing around here to keep the wires from shorting together, and then I can figure out a way to suspend this thing and hang it back from its light fixture and see whether we can get a little more service out of this thing. So we'll resolder a few of these connections on here. I can't see what I'm doing because I don't have my light. I don't have my magnifying light, so it's going to make it a little more difficult to see what I'm doing. But let's go through and resolder this board for all these connections that look like they could be questionable. and then we'll reconnect the lamp. I've got it, I put some silicone on here and glue it back down to this base here. That'll give me something to mount to the, I'm gonna put some heat shrink tubing around the wire so that they don't short together. And then we'll reconnect it to the ballast, and I'll figure out some way of suspending it from this fixture here so that I can get it back in to put it back into service. But let's first of all solve the problem with the connections on the ballast here. We'll see if we can get this 13-year-old lamp producing light for a little while longer. This is not a cheap bulb either. These ones, when I bought them, these were around $50 a pop. They're exceptionally bright. I have another one here. It's the same bulb right there. That's the same lamp. They're exceptionally bright, and they're great work lights. So that's why I want to try and keep this thing going, because my workshop is dark without it. It lights up literally half of the shop. The dark side over here, as you can see, is pretty dim over there without that light. By comparison, that's a regular 15 watter over there, but it gives me a good portion of light in my workshop here. So see if I can get this thing going, because replacing it with a little 15 watt one is not an option. It'll still be dark over there. Okay, I've re-soldered the connections here on this board. Check this out, the back side of this thing. Look at the size of the heat sinks in here on the chopper transistors. I mean, this thing produces a fair bit of heat, and it's got nice vents on the back here, and you know, big transistors on this unit. Now, I will say something about this particular, well, this brand, Commercial Electric. These were a Home Depot type lamp that I bought, and I bought this when I built my house. So that's how I know when I purchased them, because I built this garage in 2002, I guess it was when that portion of the house was finished. So it'd been 2002, and I bought 3 of these initially, and one of them burned out within, it was probably a month. It started sparking and smoking and went dead. So I called the customer service number and gave them, they wanted some codes off the lamp. Called the customer service number there, and they wanted some codes off the lamp. I think they wanted that number, and they wanted a number that was a date code that was printed on the bottom here. Anyway, I gave them the date code. I told them that one of the lamps had burned out like right away, and they sent me 2 brand new bulbs to replace it, which I still have, and but only one of them failed. The other 2 were fine, and like one of them is working right now, and this one here I'm sure will be working again soon. So I thought that was pretty good customer service when I told them that one of them had kind of sparked and sputtered, and they had told me that they had had some quality issues with some of them, and they sent me replacements for them, no questions asked. But other than that, these have been very reliable over the years, much more reliable than most of the LED lights that I've bought, because I haven't had very good luck with any LEDs. None of the ones that I've bought, and I've got several of them throughout my house, and none of them have performed anywhere near as long, or lasted anywhere near as long as they're supposed to last. They start to get dim very quickly within a couple of years. The LEDs, the brands that I've tried, and I've tried Philips and Sylvania and a few others that have been out there. Cree is another one that I've used, and none of them have been living up to how I've expected them to last. They've all started getting dim or started to flicker and so forth. So anyway, I'm just gonna let the silicone rubber set up a bit on here so that I can move it without it getting all gooey there. I'll have to let it sit here probably for a few hours to set up, and then we'll reconnect this and see if I have a success. Okay, we'll insulate the leads now with my heat shrink tubing. We'll just use the heat gun to shrink it down. the same thing for one of the leads on the other side here. That's just to keep our leads from touching together. Now I should be able to reconnect the wires. What I did is I marked just a felt pen. I just marked the terminals, that one and that one, that one and that one, so I could reconnect my light, and then I can figure out a way to anchor this down so that it will. I can mount it to the base without it shorting out. I might put another couple of on the other side, on the other wire. I'll put another piece of heat shrink on here so that the wires don't touch against here when it's pushed back together. So that's what I've come up with, a zap strap around to hold this base in here. There's a space between the tube and the circuit board so nothing's going to touch. This can be hanging from a ceiling light, just an open socket. So let's put it in and see if it works. I'll keep you in suspense as I turn on the light. Will it work or won't it? Of course it'll work. So, the plan is to see how long this one will work now that I fixed it. It's 13 years old now, still going strong. Catch you later.